Hello, welcome back everyone to Foxboro's Fortress, your home for all latest on the New England Revolution.
This is Foxboro's Fortress, your home for all the latest on the New England Revolution. Brought to you by Leading Lights, LLC.
Hello, welcome back everyone to Foxboro's Fortress, your home for all the latest on the New England Revolution. Again, I'm Cecil Kenny.
And my name is Rafael Babchuk, and I'm kind of losing my voice, as you can tell.
It's a struggle, but we're super happy to be back for season 2. We got our guy Cameron Benefit on. Cam, you gotta say hi.
What's up, guys? How are we?
Yeah, it's a great way to kick off season 2. All three of us here. We got our goal scorer draft today. We got predictions today. Thanks to Revs Recap and whoever started the goal scorer draft idea. Our first time doing it, so we're just gonna have some fun with it. Happy to be back. Season 2 is gonna be a blast, and let's just get right into it. Leading Lights, appreciate y'all sponsoring this. Let's do it. Let's start by drafting. Let's get right into it. So we got, all the guys involved. We cut all the goalkeepers because I don't want to cut goalkeepers, but if anyone ever goes up for a header once in a blue moon, I'm gonna be mad. But until then, it's whatever. So yeah, Raph, we spun, and you have first pick. You're gonna limp by with your voice.
Yep.
Jared, who's your first pick?
So my first pick in the snake draft that we are doing is going to be Dor Turgeman.
It's a good choice, really. We know Dor. He had a great first season with the Revs. First 3 games with the Revs. Whatever it was. Yeah. Cam, I want to ask you. We've all been kind of following the preseason as much as possible. We haven't seen as much of him doing the scoring as Campana. Campana's had a really good preseason. How do you see the that like working out?
So I've been thinking about this because our attacking depth is pretty slim at the moment, if we're gonna be honest. So I could see a world where we have like Griffin Yao coming in as a super sub at times in the 50th, 60th minute, but I think Turgeman is gonna start off the wing. We're gonna start Campana and we're gonna start Langoni. It's gonna be Turgeman, Campana, Langoni, because those are the guys. And there's a chance Yao can start in Nashville, but we'll have to see. I don't know, but it's all what Marco wants to do because it's gonna be a 4-3-3, something along the lines of a 3 in the front. So that's what I'm. He's had a really good preseason, really, really good. So
It's been impressive. Raph, what do you think?
Yeah, so I'm going to try my best to speak. But Dor Turgeman, he's just a great player. And yeah, Capana's been great during the preseason, but it's the season that matters. And I think he's going to be our top goal scorer. I think it's a clear pick.
Understandable. Cam, we spun. You got second. So what you got?
I'm going to take the preseason hype of Leo Campana.
That's an understandable pick after that preseason.
Carlos Heel, but what I'm thinking of how we're gonna play this season is he's gonna be utilized like he was in 2021, where he got 4 goals. I think it was 18 assists. He's gonna be a playmaker. He's gonna be more of a playmaker rather than a real actual Cam who's gonna score the goals. Granted, he's gonna probably be on penalties. That's gonna happen. He's Carlos Heel. He's gonna be on pens, but great. I just think that he's gonna be a guy who he's gonna have the opportunity to be more of a playmaker in the Cam role. And he's going to send the guys on through balls. He's going to send Campana on through balls. He's going to send Turgeman. Definitely going to send Yao. Yao is really good with speed and one-on-one, so it's going to be interesting. But I think Campana's had a great preseason. I think this is the time. He's finally adapted to New England, and under a new coach who utilizes his center forwards well, I think Campana's going to shine.
Yeah. I made fun of Campana early on in the offseason while everyone else was at the I think it was in Rhode Island. They were at like a big training thing, like small sided games. Farrell was there, Fry was there, Turner was there, and they were all there. And Campana was on a boat. And so I made fun of him early on. But then kind of preseason kicked off and then he just started scoring. And it's hard to ignore facts there. Campana has been putting on a show, and it's really been impressive. And it looks good. For my pick, I got third, and then I've also got fourth as the snake draft. I'm gonna go with my first one. I'm gonna go Carlos Heel. Um,
Mhm. Yeah,
I don't
Good
think there's
pick.
much of a discussion there.
yeah.
He'll be on Pens. I think he's still a very high quality player. Um, yeah, and there's a bunch of other guys I could choose. I could choose Luca Langoni here. Um, but I'm gonna trust what Griffin Yao can do here. I'm gonna trust what we might get
Whoa.
Griffin Yao. Griffin Yao already a great player for uh the US the youth setup, and hopefully he can use this New England time to break into that starting lineup for the US and just break into that team overall. I think he has that potential. And reuniting under Marco from his what was that Olympic run, I think this could greatly benefit him. And so I'm excited to see what he can do
Yeah.
in New England. Cameron, you're up next.
Um, well, we only really have one more attacker left, so I'm just gonna take it here, and I'm gonna go Luca Langoni. Now, obviously, there's been some eyes from South America, but it's just seems like the smartest choice here. Just take Langoni as it's a snake draft and hope that he can finally like step up because I had him as my team MVP last year, and he was underwhelming to say the least. He just didn't
Yeah.
get he didn't get involved enough. He didn't really get the chance to score. He didn't really do much. He a lot of missed opportunities, a lot of missed open chances from what I can remember. Um, but I think this is hopefully a year where he can step up into the team and be a guy who can be a goal scorer off the wing, even to the middle if we need him, and actually be what we signed him for the £9 million or $9 million fee we signed him for.
It, I think it was more like, yeah, it was like 8.89. You're right around there. And then salary takes it like I think it's up to like 10 at this point. Can't really count that in transfer fee, but he's cost us a bunch. We need to see something. He's had eyes from South America, like you said. Um, so has another Revs player, but we'll get to that in a second. Man, I'm psyched that he's coming back. Anyways, yeah, he's a phenomenal player from what we think he's a phenomenal player. After like the first like after he scored against Montreal his first like half season, we were excited, and then he really just didn't do anything last year. But now, um, I'll get this out of the way now. Without Chunkali here, that's his spot. And that those wings, he controls what he's doing there. He has that, and I'm excited to see what he can do. He has Griffin Yao's competition, but if they split those wings, I am worried about the depth there, but I think they can very much do something.
Well, I think we're forgetting a name that will definitely be picked soon, but that's later in the draft. So,
Are we forgetting a name? Did I feel like I've definitely
oh
missed
no, no,
one.
you didn't forget a name. You were worried about the attack in depth, and I think there's a guy that
Well,
could
there
really
is a
step up
guy.
this
A guy. I
if
think
Langoni if Langoni and Yao don't perform as we think, there's a guy that can step up that's been great in preseason. But
yeah, he's
we'll
been
get to that.
great. He's been great in preseason. But yeah, we'll get to that. Raph, you're up.
So I'm gonna go with the kind of sleeper pick here. He's gonna be great this year. Um, don't want him to leave, but he probably will. Maybe after this season, Peyton Miller
Yeah,
That's a
off the wing.
I like
it's a
that.
great point.
I actually
Um,
really do like that pick. And I'll kind of explain why. Um,
I know.
he's been with the US youth setup.
Mm.
He's played under Marco. In those youth setups, he's been employed on the wing. I do the only concern I have with the Luke Langoni and Griffin Yao, and then Malcolm Fry, who we'll talk about in a bit. The only thing that could cause some uproar if Luca doesn't perform or Griffin doesn't perform and Marco decides to make that switch, I wouldn't put it past him to put Peyton on that up there, um,
Mhm.
and then put Ethan Kohler on at fullback and just see how we roll. I wouldn't be shocked. I'd welcome that idea if something doesn't work. Yeah, Ref, you're up again. Kind of taking the spotlight here, but you go again as it's a snake draft. Um, I think that's how that works. Yeah,
It is. That is how it works.
but
Good job.
thank you.
But oh, it's a little tough pick.
It
But
is.
I think he might get off the midfield. He'll get a couple chances this year. Um, I'm not really too sure on this one, but I'm gonna go from the midfield position, Allen,
I,
Allen Moyer.
I don't. It's an early pick for round. I'll say that much.
Wow, that is a really early pick. Wow,
That's
yeah.
an early pick, especially how he's been getting time, how he missed a few games with Revs for preseason and went with Revs too.
He's gonna go with it.
But
I'm
I do
not I'm not, I'm not a hater. That's a pick. Yeah. Wow.
I don't despise that pick at all actually. Especially with I'll say what else? Oh, I wouldn't be surprised if he becomes that attacking mid option behind Cappy. Um he's not he's been playing defensive mid in his time with the Revs, but I wouldn't put it past Marco to put him in a center mid or a higher line than he would a Yusuf or a probably Brooklyn Reigns. I wouldn't put it past Marco to do that. And so with that, Allen could come off the bench for the Revs and he can score some goals. Um I actually I like that pick.
I think he's the biggest sleeper in terms of goals this year. This year.
I think there's a few more. I think there's a few more guys that are sleepers, but
Yeah.
he's one of them. Cameron, you're up.
Well, I'm surprised you took Oriole out there. I thought you were gonna take the duo, but I'm gonna go Eli Feingold. He got up a lot. Um, he got up a lot last season against, especially against DC, Montreal. He's gonna put. It's gonna be a chance where he pushes up, and I like what you were saying earlier about Payton, because if Payton pushes up, play Kohler, even play Kohler in that like left back or right back role. He's a very interesting signing by the Revs. Kohler, Marco Mitrovic said, um, Ethan's strength of the ball can help us control the game possession, though he's also one of the players who takes great pride in defending. I'm excited to have Ethan with us. So he's obviously excited to play, and obviously when we get to more defensive stuff later, Ethan might get that chance. He may get the chance in defense, and that's where Payton pushes up. Payton pushes up to the left mid, left wing, however we utilize Marco's formation. You're going to have plays and chances where Kohler's in the back, and he can play DM, he can play left back, he can play right back. He's very versatile in the backfield for the Revs. So I think it's going to be interesting to see that aspect with Payton and Eli, because they both loved to push up last year and help out on the wings, which it would always be Eli pushing up, Carlos just running into Eli. Hey, give me the ball, give me the ball, give me the ball, and then play around, don't score, lose games, and then. But that's not going to happen this season. Knock on wood. But sorry, rambled there. But
Don't even worry about it.
I think we know where I was going with that. So yeah, Eli Fine was my pick.
I wanted Eli. You saw my reaction. I was mad because I wanted Eli. I was hoping he would fall and you'd take a guy like Jackson Newell, so I wouldn't have to worry about that one. But dodge the bullet. Dodge the bullet. All right. I got two. Don't necessarily love my option just for the fact that there's a bunch of mystery on what guys can do. What roles Al Hassan Yusuf going to play this year? Where's Brooklyn Reigns going to fit into this lineup? Is Ethan Kohler going to get game time? Um, is like what's the center back system going to be if like who's going to be that third guy if it's Kohler or is it Beeson? Who's like there's a lot of mystery here. There's also one attacker left, but we don't know how much he'll play. So I think with my pick, this is a difficult one, but I'm gonna gamble. I'm gonna take Brooklyn Reigns. Um, I like his upside. Um, he's I feel like he could do a job. Um, I'm not necessarily like okay, this guy's gonna be the guy. But I like what Marco could do with him again. So I'm hoping for the best with him. Yeah, and then now we get to we got one fullback left. You got very versatile center back, but he's just joined. One attacker left. You don't know how much he's gonna play. Um, and so it really comes down to do I want to take a guy who can put in some headers, or do I want to take a guy with a ton of mystery but a ton of upside? I'm gonna go for a guy that I think can do a ton. I'm gonna take Brian Spies. Um, I feel like this is kind of early for him, but I also don't know what's left. So I think Brian Ceballos is my pick. Can I spell Brian? And
Mm-hmm. I like that pick. I think he was one of the only defenders last year that actually got a goal from a set piece. I think he might have been maybe the only one.
yeah,
But I mean, yeah, I like that. I like that pick. He's the taller guy in the defense. He gets up and involved. He pushes up a lot. So I mean, you have a moment where he pushes up a lot. He has open space. He plays a ball, makes a darting run like Joel Matip for Liverpool, and puts it in the back of the net. You got another goal on your hands. So I mean, we'll see. We'll see what he can do. But I'm excited he's back. Blazing Musket 1, Santa Fe Newsletters 2 or 0. They got nothing on us, nothing on the
Man,
Revs community, but
complete. My favorite part of that saga was when Seth and all those guys, Caleb included, they all came out with like there have been no discussions.
yeah,
I
yeah.
when I saw that, I was picturing um Philip Dushk, the referee, was like, however, I picture him, and it's like reports. However, there have been no ongoing discussions between the Revolution and Santa Fe, and there's no deal in place. Brian Spies is working with the Revs to be ready for match day one, like
Yeah.
with the rest of the team. And then the Santa Fe account replied, it just said false. Brian and Santa Fe have a deal. The Revs will receive a bid of 1.2 million and will accept it. Brian will become a player for Santa Fe. And then today we get told by Santa Fe, the club themselves, we're not signing Brian. We don't have
I
the
mean,
for that. So happy for that one. And so
yeah.
I will gladly take him.
Good
Uh,
pick.
I think I like it. I don't know how many goals he'll score, but I'm hopeful. Cameron, you're up.
All right, this was a tough choice here. I don't know. You know what? I'm sticking with my gut. I'm gonna go with Malcolm Frye. I love the kid. He's been in the Revs pipeline system for a long time. I do think eventually he's going to get that chance. I really hope it's not a situation like Jack Paniotu where he's just on the roster and doesn't play. And I feel like Marco was a guy who we've said a lot about him in the offseason, heard a lot about him, but he can utilize the young guys in depth in this team. And I think Malcolm Fry is a guy who has potential. He played in the preseason a little bit, scored one against Montreal. Really, really beautiful goal, by the way. 3 Revs and Academy guys linking up to make that one happen. But I do think it's just I think he's going to get the chance, and who knows? I mean, I picked him, but Luke Langoni, he could go off to South America midseason. You never know. Could get traded for 100,000 cash trade like Thomas Trunkline. You don't know what could happen this season. Malcolm Fry could step up. Injuries always happen. Capani's injury prone. I mean, you never know. So I'm going to take the risk. I'm going to take the
Yeah,
potential. Of Malcolm Fry.
Do I do like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Raf, you got two picks.
I do.
We're getting down there. I consider us have two fullbacks, but one we've never seen play. One plays every once in a while, and then you got a few defensive midfielders. You got a ton of center backs, and so it really is who's your defender. It's really what it gets down to. So, yeah,
Uh,
send it.
I'm gonna start off. Cecil, I'm sorry, but Yusuf.
Uh,
Oh, dude.
So he's coming in the team. He's
Dude.
coming in the team. And then next up, I'm just gonna run through it. Fofana.
oh, so take him.
No, I don't hate that second pick. I think um mm, uh there's not going to be much international break this season, except for the biggest stage,
Okay.
the World Cup. You will see some Foxboro Sports guys at the World Cup. We're excited. Um, so we're excited. I am. I don't know if I'll let you back in this podcast because you took Alsan Yusuf. So there's always the chance that me and you
You
might.
know, I was always wondering why my voice is so why it's leaving. There might be some poisoning going on. I don't know. We'll
Yeah,
see.
I knew you were eyeing him. I saw your mouse hovering over him a bit, and I was just I knew it's really unlucky for me. So now I can't like directly root for him because if I root for him, I root for Raph to do well in this, but then I want me to do well in this. So I guess Brooklyn Reigns is my new guy. What a what a I don't even know what to say anymore. That was There's one guy I know that just like we might just boycott a pick. At this point, there's one guy that we will probably boycott a pick on this one. Um, but
He's
Cam,
not
you're
getting
up.
picked.
He's not getting
I
picked.
would literally sacrifice
I
an empty
will.
slot.
I will do if it comes down to it. um, I might just like uh do what every MLS team does, rounds 2 through 3 of the MLS Super Draft, and just skip.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's so weird. Cam, you're up. I have a feeling who I think you're gonna take.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Ethan Kohler.
That was
Um,
not what I was thinking.
yeah, I talked high about him. I think he's gonna get the chance. I mean, he's gonna play. I don't know where he's gonna play.
He'll play somewhere.
He's gonna play. He's gonna play for Fafana. He's gonna play for Foxboro. He's gonna play, and I think he's 6 foot tall, so not 6'2" like Mamadou Fafana, but he's tall. He can get in the box, put a header in. We'll see.
I picture him more as a not a defensive. I picture him more as a fullback. And I think he'll get a bunch of playtime there. I know Eli Feingold. I feel like he'll be that sub for those guys. Towards the end of games, I think we'll see. Unfortunately, no Brandon By anymore this season. I probably would have. He would have already been picked. He's good for he's good for like 2 3 goals a season. Maybe even more. Thanks, Raf, for deleting that. I missed that somehow. Um, uh, yeah. I wanted Ethan Kohler. That's not who I thought you were gonna take though. I don't know if I'm gonna take the guy I thought you were gonna take here though. Board's getting smaller. We did
I
include one Revs 2 player in here. Um, or do we make that a wild card? Just a whoever scores first, who's a Revs 2 player. Like, do we make that a wild card Revs 2 guy?
oh
How do
I well we're 5 rounds in, so we got 15 names off the board. I don't know. I don't know.
we'll cross that bridge when we decide that Revs 2 guys just had to score.
Yeah.
You know, it won't be scoring for Revs 2. Don't worry, it will be scoring for the first team. I just want to clear that up. Um, you know, I can picture myself standing up in Gillette and just screaming at the top of my lungs because Will Sands scored. So we're gonna go him here. Just why not? I can
Yeah.
picture myself just so happy that this dude finally scored, and it just seems like something that would happen. So that's what we're doing. And now it comes down to what defender do I want? I can go Andrew Farrell, who at this point, if Marco ever catches a cold, I feel like Andrew Farrell will coach the team for that game. It wouldn't like shock me. Keegan Hughes, it's an option, but I think he currently sits behind Beeson and Ethan Kohler. I think he's that fifth guy. Beeson, it's not the tallest guy, might be the tallest guy. I don't know. But I see him as the third, and I don't see him as a goal scoring threat. Eric Klein, I don't know how much he'll play in a stacked defensive midfield, just
Yeah.
depth wise. Damari McIntosh, I have no idea what we have in this dude. Um, there's a guy that we're just not going to talk about, skip right over him. And then there's Cristiano Oliveira, who I do like the upside of him. And so my pick here, in my opinion, is I did skip over another guy because I don't. It's between for me. It's Cristiano Oliveira or Matt Polster. I don't think Matt Polster's starting. I think there's a very real chance that Cristiano Oliveira passes up Matt Polster on the depth chart. I think there's a very real possibility. And so with that, I'm going to take the upside of Cristiano Oliveira.
Mhm. Took my
Yeah,
pick.
that was he was the guy. He's the guy that I thought you were going to pick. He's your guy.
Yeah, I know. I uh I don't know. I just saw Kohler's a better upside, so took
So did
Kohler.
I. I
But
just thought you were going to take him.
well, now we're at a little crossroad here. I'm just gonna take who you mentioned earlier. I'm gonna take Matt Polster.
Ah,
He's a guy that I mean, he's not gonna play that much. If we're gonna be honest here, he's just not. So I mean, he he could. He's a veteran man and get some minutes in there.
I think they call Alhassan Yusuf senior man. But
Yeah.
good there.
Um, yeah. I think for now, I think we should just go one more round. I think Raph takes his two, I take mine, you take yours, and then
yeah.
there. I think
Agreed.
Call it. Sounds good to me.
So
Right, you
taking
got
two
two.
here.
Your final two picks.
This is tough.
Well,
the bottom
it,
half is really interesting.
I'm taking Beeson.
Yeah.
I don't. That's probably the one I would have gone.
Yeah.
And then I can picture it. We're in the MLS Cup final
Oh,
and there's an injury and Andrew Farrell has to get on.
oh my god.
And
Took my
the
pick.
ball gets bounced out to the 35 and it's bouncing and he just hits it half volley and Farrell scores it.
I
So
I love it.
I'm having him on the team.
I
There
love
he
it.
is.
It would be a dream. Cam, you got your last pick, probably. I want to hear it. Let's do it. The options are limited. We will say that much.
You guys ever heard of the video where it's like the Martians had the beam pointed at Earth?
Yeah.
NBA Finals. And you got Steph Curry, Iguodala. He says I want Iguodala. So look at my board right now, and I see Eric Klein or Jackson Ewell.
Ooh.
If the Martians had the beam pointed on Gillette Stadium in October, once the playoff time, and I need one guy to score a goal from the outside of the box. I want Jackson Ewell.
No.
Jackson Ewell.
Cameron, you're never appearing on this podcast
Give me
ever again.
Jackson Ewell. I could see a moment where we have made 4 subs. Yusef goes down to the cramp. Ewell comes in. Everyone's doing boo boo. I'm over here like silent, just watching him. See him come on the pitch. Corner comes in from Carlos Heel. Punched away by the goalie. Ewell takes a touch. Bottom right corner. 2-1 game. Jackson Ewell.
I do want a question. I do have a question for you guys. I've just like tapped my mic like 7 times now by accident. Have you heard anything that I've been like tapping that? Cool. Just want to make sure the audio is not gonna like fry me. Cameron, I really dislike that pick because it's not just because I don't like Jackson Ewell. It's because I think he's gonna get bought out mid-season. He's not even gonna make it to October. He's gonna make it to July.
Listen, man, Keegan Hughes is still on loan or whatever. We don't even know what contract Keegan Hughes is on.
Keegan Hughes is on like the player option. At this point, I
Hey,
rather
Take Keegan Hughes. Eric
I
Klein's gonna
rather the
be.
ghost of Maxi Urruti over
I
Jack.
know who I'd pick if I were you, Cecil.
Um,
Yeah, one
so
pick left, man.
there's Keegan Hughes, there's Eric Klein, there's Demario McIntosh, and then I have Miles Morgan written down, or we could do a Revs 2 like wild card. I don't think we do that though. I think if you're on I think I've got 3 guys here. I've got Eric Klein, I've got Demario McIntosh, and I've got Keegan Hughes. Keegan Hughes has been decent. He hasn't scored. Demario McIntosh. Is he even like with the first team at all on these like preseason stuff? And then Eric Klein, it's just really hard to break through that defensive midfield. So it's a weird pick here. I don't like.
July.
We're just gonna rule out Revs 2 here, right?
Yeah.
All right. That's unfortunate. I was gonna take a Revs 2
You know,
wild.
you know what you want.
Uh,
Player
It's your
option.
pick. It's your pick.
Player option.
yeah. Let me do Keegan Hughes. It's if I can spell. Yep, Keegan Hughes. He's really the only guy that I see there. It's he's like what the 5th guy there, but if Beeson gets another hand injury and Mamadou Fofana goes on that international break to Mali, then you're left with Brian Ceballos and say you want to keep Ethan Kohler as an option off the bench for that fullback position. Up steps Keegan Hughes. So I'm not like hating that pick. It's definitely not my first choice, clearly. Um, but yeah, that'll do it for the draft. Obviously, the guys that we left out were the goalkeepers and Eric Klein, Demar McTosh, and then any Revs 2 dudes. I do want to talk about this. Um, I thought about when we were talking about Revs 2. I thought about bringing this up. I have despised Pablo Moreira's roster construction of Revs 2. Really have disliked it in every way, shape, and form. It has been um I'm not gonna wait until he scores. It's gonna be gone by like June. Don't give me a smiley face. Cameron. Anyways, I don't even know where I was. Someone tell me what I was talking about.
You're talking about how Paul Moreira does not
Thank
have a
you.
team
Yeah,
like.
abysmal roster construction. He assigned Miles Morgan from the Canadian Premier League, and I really don't think he signed anyone else. He JD Gunn went to the first team. I get it. You'll have Max Weinstein, or you'll have so did Donovan Parisian. He also went up to the first team, but you lost both those guys. I think JD Gunn will still start for Revs 2. I think that's still gonna happen. Um, he'll be like what Donovan Parisian was this season, first team contract, but starting for Revs 2. But other than that, he let Gervach Deribian go. He let Cameron. What did you just post?
Nothing.
Gonna fry you, dude. Um,
Get Malcolm Fry me.
Good one.
It's a good one.
Deribian's still on the team. He's still with the Revs.
He's a free agent.
Right now he is, yeah. But
Yeah, but he's like with the team, but he's not signed to any contract. He's just kind of down there.
yeah.
Or he was down there. Is he still with them? Nobody knows because we're done with the preseason. I hope he like we works them out there because I like him as a dude. But I also want to kind of bring up, um, Sam Miles Morgan. He let Liam Butts go to Atlanta too. Don't like that. Um, and he let Marcos Diaz. I don't even know where he's at anymore, but he's gone. And so I get the reliance on youth and I want development. That's all great, but I want options. I don't know who's going to play down there this year. So that's kind of my main concern. I haven't liked his roster construction at all. He's on one guy and then let a bunch of guys go. Like, I really don't like what happened. So, like, I'm just, we're going to regress heavily as a team, Revs 2 wise. Yeah, that's kind of my rant on Pablo Moreira. I'm glad he did become the Revs head coach. I'm really happy with Marco. Raph, you got anything to say before we go to break, before predictions?
Um, like my team, think I got in the bag.
I do like your team. Turgeman and then Miller as your one
I
two.
love your
And
team. Yeah, yeah, I love it.
you took Allen early, but then you kind of came back. I like the Fafana, I like the Yusuf picks, and then Oyerwath. I think that's a good blend. You got
Yeah.
7,000 defensive midfielders, but at that point, the Revs have nine. So yeah, Cam, I'll look at your team. What do you think of your team?
Um, Pretty happy with how it came out. I like that I got Kohler. I love that I got Feingold. I really think he's gonna get like 3 or 4
Yeah,
goals this year.
I am.
But I think I like Raph's team the most, just because he has Terjerman. That's the
Tershman is the big one. Cam, I do think I like your team the most though. Campana plus Langoni, Fry, Feingold, and then getting Kohler late. I think that was key. Um, that I like your blend slightly more than Raph's team, and then my team. Carlos Hill's gonna be on pens. I'm really hoping for the upside of Griffin Yao, Brian Sabas. Hope he scores. No idea what's gonna happen with Brooklyn Reigns. And then praying that Will Sands manages to score 9 goals this season to carry me to the finish line. Um, I think Cristiano Oliveira could bag two late. And then Keegan Hughes, I'm just praying for like one header in the middle of like,
counting Open Cup, right? That counts
yeah,
for
we
this.
are counting Owen Hupp. That's kind of what I'm betting on for Will Sands, Cristiano Oliveira, Keegan Hughes, and then maybe like a Brooklyn Reigns. That's
I
kind of what I'm counting on.
can
Uh,
fry. Yeah.
I'll count for you. I'm gonna chalk that down to Malcolm Fry and Jackson Ewell. And then Raph, I'll count basically the guys that I think will score in the Open Cup, Alan Oyerwath, and then I think Andrew
Bro,
Farrell. I think those two dudes. Yeah, Cam, I like your team the most. But with that, I think we'll send it over to Leading Lights LLC, sponsor of the podcast.
Hey everybody, welcome back. Cecil here the next day. Uh, Last episode went a bit long, longer than we intended. So what we've decided is that um, we're gonna cut the episode in a few. We're gonna do draft the first day. We're gonna post that on Monday. You'll be seeing this on Monday. Um, you'll see the predictions episode that we recorded with it on Tuesday, and then Nashville on Wednesday. We're excited for the season. Let's keep it going. And this was Raph's Side here, Foxboro's Fortress.